okay, so we know that the video is always going to be like we would think that having something on video is a slam dunk nowadays, right? To prove exactly what was going on, to where like yo, this should be open and dry. But for him to go through what he go through, and then for the charges to drop, what was going through your mind at that time? Like, how did you get the news on that?
Um, Initially, when it happened, I did talk to a news reporter. She came out to the house and she was talking to the kids in the neighborhood, well, the families in the neighborhood, and she also stopped and talked to me. But I didn't see that get aired, but apparently it was aired. She sent me the link on it, and then from there she actually followed up with me because when I did that press conference with her, I was on the verge of getting a lawyer. And then after I did it with her, I got a lawyer. And then he immediately told me not to talk to the press and that he needed the reporter contact and told her not to talk to me and not to contact me again. He did not want the kind of attention or spotlight or whatever. I don't know. But he was like, no, just stay away from the media. Do not put this on social media, nothing like that. Um, I felt like this lawyer was not doing all he could do, but I think that was just me being impatient because he came through with a lot of info after he dropped me. But I didn't know that he was getting the information. So
Right.
Yeah. It's
after, uh huh,
oh, no, no, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
after after he told me not to post on social media, after the charges had been dropped and he failed to inform me, I went to social media immediately. I
Hmm.
post my daughter's story. I got the word out there. Everybody must know that this is what's going on. And I wanted to find out who was behind it. I found out who was behind it and what type of person it is. And it was just awful. I felt like, okay, I got to get somebody else. I got to get somebody else. This guy's not doing what I need him to do. So that's when my sister introduced me to, well, she didn't introduce me. She told me to go on somebody else's page, Facebook page, and there's this guy named John Barnett, and then that's how I came to, link with John Barnett, and he's been on me about everything. Like he's had my back with everything so far. He has not failed me. Thank God for this man and his voice. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He had me on the call with y'all, and I was just like, okay, wow. He was like, soon as he got on it, and I got on the call with y'all, and then even there, before I even saw the video, it had me in a chokehold because I just kept thinking like, how old is she? And what happened? Like, yo, and it's just like it just instant rage comes up, right? Whenever you think about something like that that's happening to, and then let's think about in some of the, because I know somebody in the comments said something about how things happen in these counties, right? And so it's a lot of things that happen to these kids that that a lot of people don't know
yeah,
because they don't get this type of traction. But the one thing about John, man, and the things that go on, I know sometimes he be saying to me he wish he could be in 1,000 places at the same time because he would. But the one thing about it though is that he will stand in front of all of y'all. It don't matter. He's not a person that's just for one particular gender. He stands in front of men and women and children alike. And you gotta kind of give that type of person their flowers when they can, because there's not many people who gonna stand for you. Especially when you're going through things like this that could be considered the worst.
yeah,
And let's be honest, yeah, things that happen to your children, that it could be considered the worst at times.
right.
Even though it ain't you that you ain't stub your toe that morning, but just something happening to your children to give you the same effect. You go right into automatic war mode over your children. Word.
What I
But
was
let's
gonna oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Kev.
What I was gonna say earlier, as you were talking about the initial attorney and kind of how he wanted to kind of just hush it, so that way he can do his due diligence. A lot of times it's easy to sweep something under the rug if there's no attention on it. So it's like, oh, it didn't hit media, There's no one clamoring in the streets. There's no petitions. There's nothing that's going to keep this flame going. Let's just wait it out, because unfortunately, the both sides of the law, they know each other. So the prosecutor, the defending attorney, they know each other. They've been in court together. They went to school together. They go to lunch together. They may have aspirations to be a judge. They know the judge. They know that they're going to need the backing of the police department, so they may not want to go against the police department. There's all this. There's the inner workings. And it's funny because we watch all of these TV shows, and then you start seeing how intertwined these people are. Chicago Law, Chicago Fire, Chicago Police, or PD, whatever it is. And you see how they can do these crossover episodes because things are intertwined.
Yeah.
These people are intertwined. And if you're in a small county, maybe there's only a handful. So they're like, oh yeah, John has this case. I don't want to stir up anything for John. Let me just try to get this, let's just try to get this, settled, because they'll have a cocktail and say, hey, what do you want to do? You just want to, let's just slap this guy on the wrist and get it over with. I'll go tell my client, or, they'll probably forget about it if we just give it some time. But they don't think that people are going to continue to push, continue to march, continue to seek justice. And that's where people go wrong.